Hi, you guys. Good evening. So, I'm here to talk to you about my alternative perspective on makeup. And if you're not into wearing makeup, don't worry. We are not going to talk about how to get the perfect cat eye or choose exactly the right shade of lipstick. But if you do want to know that, you can find me after the event. So, what I want to share with you tonight is my story about how I came to understand that makeup should be a form of self-expression. It's really not about covering your flaws at all. It's about showing the world who you are. In the mid 1990s, I was fortunate enough to be part of a movement. And this movement, we used an ancient and powerful tool to create and disrupt a seemingly unchangeable and unshakable industry. Now, you might be wondering what this magical tool was. It was a simple tube of lipstick. Now, lipstick was invented by the Sumerians about 5,000 years ago. They ground up gemstones and mixed it with white lead, which isn't a really appealing combination, but that was the first lipstick. Cleopatra and the Egyptians soon got in on the action. They crushed up bugs to create a crimson lip, which I find interesting in 2018, was more about status than it was about gender. Now, the lipstick effect today is a known psychological phenomenon. Wearing makeup can give people a confidence boost by making them feel more empowered, giving them feelings of greater self-esteem, and making them feel more attractive. And I want you to look at the power of perception, transformation, and self-expression in the next few photos I'm going to show you. These are pictures of me. I haven't changed the makeup, the hair, the lighting, the set, nothing. All I did was change the lipstick. So here I go from what I call my baseball mom look, right? I'm going to pick you up in my SUV from baseball practice, but change the lipstick. And all of a sudden, I'm that kooky art mom, right? I've got on blue lipstick. It's got some sparkles. I'm just a little bit nutty. The next one, this one's for my guy, Doug. This is my date night mom look. I'm just trying to sass it up a little for him on our Saturday night out. And then finally, I go dark and become the goth mom. So you can see that lipstick can change a lot. Makeup can change a lot of how you perceive people. And it's not just me. The power and joy of transformation speaks deeply to many people. In fact, in the United States, to the tune of about $8.1 billion in 2017. And that is just prestige makeup. Now, that doesn't include what's sold at Walmart or Target or any of the drugstores. That is prestige makeup alone. And while we embrace the beauty industry with our dollars, they don't exactly embrace us with the love of our diversity. The beauty industry is all about this idealized version of beauty. And few of us would qualify as beautiful enough according to the old standards of the beauty industry. We're not pretty enough. We're not skinny enough. We're not white enough. We're not young enough. And we're not feminine enough. But the good news is that those days are over. Because I want to share with you how I had a different perspective on what beauty should be and how that perspective helped change an industry and help expand the definition of beauty. Now, it took 20 years, but the cool thing is that a bunch of misfits and renegades, like myself at Urban Decay, I have these friends, these crazy guys at Too Faced from down the street in Irvine, and we all created this beauty revolution that made the industry come along for the ride. Now, you may have figured it out by now, but I'm really into makeup. And I'm from Texas, so it's kind of in the water, I think. But when I was 12, my mom bought me what's known as a blockbuster makeup set. It's this giant box of makeup with all these shadows and different things to play with. And she did it because I was stealing makeup out of her makeup drawer. Now, by the time I was 13, I was sent home from school in 8th grade for wearing too much makeup. And in Texas, that's kind of saying something, you know? Like, I had a lot of makeup on. Now, it's pretty funny and everyone's laughing, but there was a dark side to that because at only age 13, I had realized that I had to make a choice between being one of the cute girls and being one of the smart girls. And that choice, even at 13, inherently felt wrong. But I do have to say, it did bring me to where I am today. By the time I was 16, my perspective on makeup and beauty had shifted for a couple of reasons. First, I questioned why I should be beholden to a standard of beauty. And it was conflicting for me because I still loved makeup and I wore it with abandon. And second, my parish priest actually confronted me and told me he thought I was hiding behind a mask of makeup. Now, you can only imagine how this went over with the high school junior, right? But I have to thank the guy because it really made me realize, you know what? I'm not hiding at all. I'm telling you about myself. I'm showing myself to the world. For me, it was the moment when I realized that it was all about self-expression. Now, back then and until recently, it really wasn't about self-expression according to the beauty industry. It was really about a standardized notion of beauty as seen in magazines like my pictures of Brooke. In fact, Anna Wintour of Vogue once cut my photo from a beauty industry story because I didn't fit her standard. So I think it's important to realize that this whole industry was about unattainable and aspirational models and images that most of us really couldn't achieve. And that standard of beauty was defined by male executives at big beauty corporations and, magazine editors. And it was an elitist club, and whether or not you fit in depended on how you looked. So I found that the irony here is that an industry that's supposedly all about transformation really failed to transform itself. And that continued until really a group of sort of renegade entrepreneurial beauty brands, innovative retailers like Sephora, and social media came on the scene and caused complete chaos for them. Now, Urban Decay was one of those brands, and we launched in 1996 with 12 nail polishes and 10 lipsticks, and they were in really crazy different colors with provocative names. And the name Urban Decay itself came from the idea that beauty could be found in anything, whether it's a crumbling brick wall or a rusting fire escape or in any of us. Now, it was the motto, the real sort of idea behind Urban Decay, our stated mission was makeup for girls and boys who want to show the world who they are and who want to rattle the notion of what beauty is. And in 1996, this was a groundbreaking idea. And it hit me how groundbreaking it was when I showed up at John Wayne Airport in my iridescent blue lipstick called UVB, and I handed my bag to the sky cap, and he looked at me and he said, "What is on your lips?" And I said, "It's Urban Decay." And he said, "Well, it's not Mary Kay, that's for sure." That's when I knew we had something. And Sandy Lerner and I began making that blue lipstick and putting nail polish into medicine bottles because we saw an opening in the sugary, sweet world of color cosmetics. Now, back then in the mid-90s, makeup wasn't the Technicolor dream that some of you may know today. It wasn't all this color and all this texture. It was really kind of dark days. And if you wanted prestige quality makeup, you had to go to the department store, and your choices were basically pink, beige, and red. And if you wanted color and you wanted to experiment, you could go to the drugstore, but in those days, again, the pigments were cheap and chalky. So, I loved makeup, and I loved high quality makeup, but I wanted to explore that edgy, rebellious side of myself. And I couldn't do it because the products didn't exist. So we made them. And we didn't make products based on what some market analysis report told us to do. We made products because we wanted them. We made colors that we craved. And I think people ate it up because I have this idea that people are looking for connection in the things they buy. I think whenever given a choice, they will buy things from other people instead of buying from corporations. And we really, through our products, tried to create these connections with people. We tried to tell stories with them. And I think we really succeeded, and part of that connection is what helped change the industry. Because I remember we actually still sell what I call eyeshadow primer potion. And this is a magical product. It will, if you're wondering, it will keep your eyeshadow on for 24 hours. It's really great. And it was so magic that we decided, let's put it in a genie bottle shaped vial. Wouldn't that be cool, right? It would tell the story. And the only problem was this vial, it was kind of hard to get all the product out. By 2007, people were posting videos online about how to use power tools to cut the thing open so they could get all the product out. And that's kind of funny, but then the conspiracy theories started. Oh, they're just putting it in that bottle, so we have to buy more. Now, that wasn't our idea. We weren't really that smart, but we just thought it was a cool bottle. But what we did do was we listened. And we listened and we changed the container to a squeeze tube so those customers could get every drop out. And that dialogue of videos, commentary, and response was really the first time a beauty brand had that kind of 360-degree dialogue with their customers. And that was truly a groundbreaking thing that changed everything. So that all happened, and then the other thing that happened was YouTube came along. Social media beauty influencers came along, and they introduced smaller alternative brands with alternative perspectives to a broader audience. And they also taught that broader audience to express themselves through makeup with a higher level of execution and technique so people could be even more self-expressive. And, oh, thanks. Mark's signing to me that I better wrap it up. So what changed was that a lot of the brands in the top 10 of the beauty industry in the U.S. shifted. So instead of being big brands like Estee Lauder and Lancome, 7 of the top 10 makeup brands in the United States in 2017 were once entrepreneur brands like Urban Decay. And in fact, Urban Decay was number 2. And I think this is important because it shows that together we have created a beauty revolution that expands the definition of what beauty is. This beauty revolution is all about inclusion and diversity and community. It encourages entrepreneurship in an industry once dominated by big corporations. And it thrives on sharing and education, and it unleashes the power of anyone to become a creator. I'm excited about what I see in the future from 2018 going forward in the beauty business, because we have gone from what I call autocracy to a democracy. I say it in my office all the time. It's the democratization of beauty, and it's a beautiful shift that embraces all kinds of beauty. It expands the definition of beauty, and it redefines who is beautiful, why we're beautiful, because we choose, right? And who gets to decide what the makeup trends are going to be. It's us now, which is really exciting. I see organizations at Sage Hill like GemFest and True Beauty who are exploring the idea of beauty and empowerment. And these young women are looking at the fact that wearing lipstick and choosing to wear lipstick or not wearing lipstick is not mutually exclusive with being smart, bold, and empowered. In fact, it's the lipstick effect all over again. Now, I'm so glad I got to talk to you guys tonight, and I want to leave you with this one thing. I would like you guys to all sort of embrace your convictions and your passions and your beliefs. And I want you to nurture your alternative perspectives, because through them, you will change the world in small ways and in large ways and in ways you may never even imagine. Thank you.